What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic. And today we're going to talk some football, Houston Texans football. And today we're going to talk about the best cornerback tandem in the entirety of the playoffs. That's right, the best cornerback tandem in the entirety of the playoffs. I don't care if it's AFC, NFC. I don't care if it's the number 1 seed or the number 7 seed. I don't care if it's the defending Super Bowl champions or a team that's just now getting to the playoffs for the first time in 10, 15 years. This is the best cornerback tandem in the entire playoffs, possibly the best quarterback tandem in the whole NFL, but definitely the best cornerback tandem in the playoffs. We're going to break it down. Before we get that, like I've been telling y'all before, man, if you're liking the content, make sure you're liking the channel. Make sure you're watching all the videos, you comment on all the videos, you liking all the videos, you sharing all the videos on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, any type of social media platform you use. Make sure you're sharing them same social media platforms. Also, follow me on social media as well. The link in the description below. We still trying to get this channel growing and growing. So we know I need y'all to do. I can't do it without y'all. So I need y'all to do y'all part, which means I need y'all to tell a friend, so they could tell a friend, so they could tell a friend, so they could tell some more friends, so they could tell some more friends, and put them on Game of the Channel so we get this channel growing and growing and growing and growing. Really, really appreciate that. Now, like I said, I want to talk about what is the best cornerback tandem in the playoffs right now. I don't care what nobody's saying. This is the best cornerback tandem in the NFL playoffs right now today, and that is your cornerbacks out there for the Houston Texans, Derek Stingley Jr. and rookie Kamari Lassiter. Wait, let me rephrase that. First team All-Pro, Pro Bowling, Derek Stingley Jr., and also rookie Kamari Lassiter. These two guys have been putting in work all season long, and they're showing that also inside the playoffs as well. What we seen, the performance that they had on Saturday night was a phenomenal performance. But these guys have been putting work all year long going into this playoffs. Not like what they've done in the regular season going into the playoffs, let alone what they've done inside the first playoff game against the LA Chargers. Let's talk about and break down the numbers, what they've done going into the playoffs. So, all first team All Pro Derek Stingley had on the season coming to the playoffs with 10 pass breakups, a complete percentage thrown in his direction with 48.4 complete percentage thrown in his direction, a quarterback rating of 56.9, and 5 touchdowns. Kamari Lassiter had 5 pass breakups, completion percentage thrown in his direction with 49.3, and a quarterback rating of 67.2, and had 3 interceptions coming into the playoffs. So those are the numbers that what they did going into the playoffs. Going into the playoffs. So that's what they were doing in the regular season. Also will help earn Derek Stingley be a first-team All-Pro and also a Pro Bowl bid. So we seen that, okay, these two guys out here were balling, and they were probably, if I'm not mistaken, they are the second best cornerback tandem with most interceptions. As far as the two starting cornerbacks, they're the second best with the most interceptions, with Stingley with 5, Kamari Lassiter with 3. And then you see what they also did against the Chargers in this past playoff game. So Derek Stingley was targeted 11 times, only gave up 6 catches for 75 yards. But all the catches that he did not give up, he had 5 pass breakups thrown to him. So he broke up. So the other ones that were thrown in his direction wasn't drops. There wasn't overthrows. He had all 5 of them were pass breakups. 2 of them were interceptions. He gave up a quarterback rating of 35.2 thrown in his direction. Also had a forced fumble. Kamari Lassiter was targeted 3 times, gave up 0 catches, an interception. Obviously, since he gave up 0 catches, gave up a quarterback rating of 0, and also had 2 pass breakups. So 3 times he was thrown in his direction. He broke up 2 of the passes. The other one, more than likely, was just, like I said, was either a dry pass or overthrow or something like that. But when it comes to Stingley, all 5 times that the receiver did not catch the football when they were targeting Derek Stingley was because Derek Stingley had something involved with it by getting up 5 pass breakups. 2 of those pass breakups ended up being interceptions, and you were taken possession by the Houston Texans. Just an absolute dominance. If you watch how they were playing against the Chargers, how they were all over the receivers the entire game in lock and step, and some of those pass breakups stopped downs, like we ended the downs, let alone the interception. We already know the interception changes possession, but it was one that to Quinn Johnson when one to Quinn Johnson when Kamari Lassiter broke up the pass, and Quinn Johnson tried to use his hands to try to get the ball in, and basically Kamari Lassiter locked up his arms and like, no, you're not be able to catch this football, and went straight to the ground. Remember, Quinn Johnson went up holding his arm a little bit because how he landed on the ground, because Kamari Lassiter was going to make sure that he was not going to catch that football. That was a third down play. Then on fourth down, when they threw to Quinn Johnson, and this time Derek Stingley was covering Quinn Johnson, and he made sure that he did not get the pass. First, it was just a stop. He just stopped him and didn't allow him to get the first down. But when you looked at, he actually made an incompletion that Quinn Johnson did not catch the football because Derek Stingley got his hands up in there, ruptured the pass, made sure the pass was not going to be able to him able to complete the catch, able to hit the ground, the football hits the ground, boom, incomplete pass. Fourth down, turnover on downs. Houston Texans get the football back. So they were stopping drives, obviously, on their interceptions. The 3 interceptions mean we talking about a guy in Justin Herbert who threw 3 interceptions all season long. He threw 4 against the Texans. 3 of them came up against Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter. And every time they have an interception, it's a big interception. We already know Stingley had the 2 interceptions against Miami, one that stopped them from scoring when they were in the red zone, and then the other one sealed the deal and ended the game. Kamari Lassiter had the interception against Caleb Williams on Sunday Night Football, and then another Sunday Night Football game against Jared Goff. When Jared Goff throws 5 interceptions, he had the interception to stop the score right for halftime, and then another interception after CJ threw a mistake and threw an interception himself. He was able to give the football back to the Texans. Did the exact same thing against Justin Herbert in the playoffs. There, CJ throws an interception. What does Kamari Lassiter do the following play? Catches another interception, undercuts the receiver, takes the football out, and is able to take and change possession and get the football back to the Houston Texans. And then also just what these guys do, because these are tackling corners. Like, these cornerbacks actually tackle. A lot of cornerbacks, they have business decisions. They don't like to tackle the foot. They don't like to tackle the opposing team. They hit with all the pass breakups and all the interceptions. When it really comes down to tackling, they kind of, a little bit don't really want to do it. Kamari Lassiter has a tackle for loss on Derrick Henry that resulted in the safety. Now, the bad thing is that was the only points the Texans scored in that game against the Ravens. But he tackled he tackled Derrick Henry in the back of the end zone, a tackle for loss, TFL for a safety. A cornerback came down and did that. And then the game against Miami, where Derek Stingley won Defensive Player of the Week. He was the first cornerback in NFL. He was the first cornerback, I think, in 40 years. I was about to say NFL, but he's the first cornerback in 40 years to have 2 interceptions and also have 2 tackles for loss. Because the first play of the game defensively for the Houston Texans, Darius Stingley had a tackle for loss in that game. He had 2 tackles for loss and also had 2 interceptions in that game against Miami. So we're talking about cornerbacks. They're not afraid of tackling. These guys are sound tacklers. They don't do the shoulder tackles and all that type of stuff like that. And, because that's how you get a lot of break tackles and a lot of missed tackles from DBs, because they do the little shoulder thing, because they really try to get the big hit and things like that. They don't really want to wrap up and do an actual, real, legitimate tackle, that defensive coaches teach their players how to actually tackle. These guys will. They have no problem at all tackling. And like I said, and Kamari Lassiter definitely would tackle. Kamari Lassiter, he thrives on that. We see him up hitting his head and doing all the type of stuff he does. He's definitely ready to go out there and tackle the opposing team and put them on the ground. And again, they're also able to turn over the football. I mean, you talking about making Justin Herbert have just a historic bad day. It's not just the 4 interceptions they threw. We're talking about that Justin Herbert since 2000 has the 4th worst quarterback rating in a playoff game when he had 40.9. Number 2 was Connor Cook with 30, period, against the Houston Texans. That was AJ Bouye, Kareem Jackson, and Jonathan Joseph back in 2016. Now, number 1 is Brian Hoyer with a 15.9 back in 2015 when we lost 30-0 to the Chiefs. But that was just him having just a horrific day. Obviously, that was Connor Cook making his first start with the Raiders back in 2016. But talking about Justin Herbert, who's a guy who's thrown for 5,000 yards. Justin Herbert, who had the least amount of picks this past season with only 3. This secondary held him to that. to that horrible, horrific performance, a historical, horrible, horrific performance. Part of the reason is because the Houston Texans, in my opinion, have the best two cornerback tandems in the NFL, especially in the playoffs, but I think in the entirety of the NFL. And you're talking about a guy as Derek Stingley, who's in his third year, and you're talking about Kamari Lassiter, a guy who's a rookie in his first year, who's been starting from day one. And as soon as he came into camp, he came into camp because remember all the talks of him possibly being just a slot corner. He ended up being the best option on the outside and being the best option to be the outside corner because he was better than everybody else. He came in and established that, hey, he's the best option to be the outside corner for the Houston Texans. And you already got a guy who last year, Derek Stingley, when he came back in the month of November, was Defensive Player of the Month for the month of December, had a good postseason as well. Now, we already knew what we had Derek Stingley. The problem with Derek Stingley previously was that he hadn't played full season since the LSU won the national title back in 2019. That's the last time he played a full season. This year, right here, he's played a full season, and you see it cash in and pay huge dividends. 5 interceptions, first team All Pro, Pro Bowl bid, and then you see what he did in the playoffs. Not his first playoff game because he played both games last year. Coming to the playoffs, go out there and be able to shut down what he has to shut down. You target him 11 times. I'm actually surprised he was targeted that many times, but I'm surprised he was targeted many times. But he had 5 breakups in that. He had 5 breakups and 2 of them interceptions. They're going to stop throwing to his side. But the problem is, if you stop throwing the 24 side, you got to throw the number 4. So and that's the beauty of having 2 legitimate corners. That's the beauty because now they can't. Because if you only have 1 legitimate corner, you got another corner that's okay. So I'm gonna just not throw to that corner. I'm gonna just throw over here. But when you got 2 good ones, it's like I gotta take my chance. And at least, I mean, my best receiver is over here. I'm gonna put my best receiver is being guarded by Stingley. I'm just to take my chances with it. And hey, you took your chances, you got bit. And actually, Herbert got bit 4 times. 2 by Derek Stingley, 1 by Kamari Lassiter. So both your corners go out there and have both of them get an interception and one of them gets 2 interceptions. Just like the game against the Chicago Bears, that was a rookie with with Caleb Bullock. I'm not Caleb Bullock, but Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams threw an interception to both Derek Stingley and also Kamari Lassiter. So it is what it is. And again, we see how Derek Stingley able to shut down Tyreek Hill when the Miami Dolphins came down here. He was able to get those 2 interceptions. Like I said, the 1 interception to close out the game. You had 1 in the red zone to be able to stop them from scoring when they could have made the game closer. I don't know if it was a potential scoring drive, a time drive, or to make it a 1 possession drive. I can't remember exactly what the score was at that point in time. But the last one completely ended and sealed the deal and ended the game. And that's what type of cornerbacks that we have. And Derek Stingley, this can't come for a better time for Derek Stingley because Derek Stingley is about to get paid this offseason. He's going to get paid this summer. And the one thing he was really waiting on was that All-Pro. He was waiting on that All-Pro because everybody was talking about how Sauce was going to be the highest paid corner. All Derek Stingley needed was that All-Pro. Once Derek Stingley got their first team All-Pro, not second team All-Pro, not just a Pro Bowl bid, actually getting the All-Pro stamp, now he has the claim to be, okay, hey, he has the most recent All-Pro, first team All-Pro at that. This guy right here is worthy of being the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. And then you back it up with the type of performance that you had against the Chargers on a playoff stage. And again, both of them, both Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter, were playing outstanding against the Chargers on Saturday night. They both were playing completely outstanding. I was jumping up out of my seat. Well, I've been waiting for this team to have good cornerback play for so long, and now we have 2 of them. Now we have 2 legitimate cornerbacks on the outside. And I'm so happy and I'm so ecstatic about the type of defense and all the type of things that we can do defensively with these 2 cornerbacks. And again, the things DeMeco Ryans wants to do, especially with this pass rush, because again, having Will Anderson and having Daniil Hunter be able to rush the passer and get to the quarterback the way they do helps out these cornerbacks a lot, help out these cornerbacks in the secondary a lot. And not to mention what you have rookie Caleb Bullock doing out there as well. Him having 5 interceptions on the season as well. This secondary is a very, very, very dangerous secondary for opposing teams. It really is. And I just can't, I'm just so excited and so ecstatic about the way these guys are playing. And like I said, I definitely believe that the Texans have the best cornerback tandem in the playoffs. And these other teams, they're going to have to find a way to get around throwing towards 24 and number 4. Hey, we tip on 4-4s or we ride on 20-4s. That's what we doing in the city. It's straight up. We either tipping on 4-4s, we are either tipping on 4s, riding on 4s, or we ride on 20-4s. That's what we do in the city. And hey, this defense is showing you that, and this secondary is showing you that. Like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below if you haven't, click that bell, get more videos. I holla.